Well, I'm a new FSD 10.2 member. I received it about 36 hours ago, but I've been watching videos as I wanted to take my time and be careful. I did test it yesterday and was uncomfortable with it. I thought that it was had a lot of shaking. It didn't feel comfortable to me. So here we go. Let's go ahead and take a trip. We're just going to go to a Starbucks here in town. So I'll turn it on once I get out of here. And let's see if I do it from this parking lot. Let's see where it will take me. And it is turning me right. And as you can see, I'm in the middle of the street. And it should turn left here. It did. Now this is an unprotected turn here, as you could see. And it started to go, and I intervened because there were cars coming from the left when it started to go. So I don't know if it would have continued to go, but the way it was moving, I believe it was going to go. I don't know. So I'll turn it on again here and let's see what happens. So it's on again and we're coming to a stop sign here. And it's a four-way stop. There's, as you can see, there's no one anywhere here. It came to a complete stop and here we go, moving ahead. A little bit slow taking off, but I would just chalk that up to being cautious. And here we go around this circle. On the right is a bike path, and it notices that and is staying over to this side, so that's good. We're now soon going to be approaching our right turn. And one thing I noticed versus the non-FSD is it does pay better attention to staying in the middle of the road, even if there's no lines on the left where it used to veer over. So shortly it's going to have to turn right here, and let's see if it does. And it did. It did not put on the signal. It just put the signal on now. And here we go. It should merge here. And now we should actually have stayed in that right lane. So I'm not quite sure why it did that. Let's see if it moves over. And it is now moving over to the right lane to make this turn. Now we're going to go in from here, from a small area. We're now going to go and make a right here. Onto a lot of traffic. There will be a lot of activity on this road, as you could already see, and the speed limit will be 55 miles an hour almost immediately. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I disengaged to let this gentleman go in front of me, and we're stopped. And the wheel is turning to make this turn, I believe. And, oh, I have a green arrow and the car just took off. And let's see if it merges over towards the left here. Huh. And it put on the directional signal. It moved over 2 lanes, because we are going to have to make a left in about 1 mile. So it moved over 2 lanes. So I think that was all good. If I didn't let that truck in, perhaps things would have been smoother. And now we're slowing down at a red light here. I am keeping my hands very close to the wheel, as you could see. My feet are right on where the brake and the accelerator are, so I'm being extra cautious with this. I could see where it shows the median clearly highlighted here. You can see the curb. Let's see if we take off and how fast. So the speed limit is 55. We're following, and I'm keeping it 4 lengths behind the vehicle in front of me. So far, it seems to be doing well. The second light coming up is where it should make a left, which is in about a half a mile. So we are now at 55 miles an hour. As you can see, there's a vehicle in front of us, and we are slowing down nicely. The slowing down is not as bad. The slowing down with the regular autopilot is very noticeable. But this has been comfortable. Part of it is because it's following the truck there, of course. So right in front of this, right after this light up here, we're going to hit the light that we're going to make a left on. And then we're going to take that road for a while. So there's 2 left turn lanes here. And it'll be interesting to see which lanes the car chooses to go. I'm assuming it'll stay to the right on the turn lane, the outer one. And so coming out from where we did, it seemed to do all right. And here we go. So shortly we're going to have to get into an extended turn lane. It's fairly long, so let's see how long it takes it to actually determine to get into that lane. You can see it's still showing the yellow line here, and right here is where the lane begins. It went into the lane so far without a directional signal, and it is going into the far left turn lane. As you can notice, there's no directional signal, and it just went on. So most of the turns so far, it looks like what it's doing is delaying the turn signal for quite a while. So right now we're making a left, and we had 2 lanes to choose from, and it chose this lane, which means that after the turn, after a fairly short period of time, we'll have to get over to the right lane, but so be it. So let's see what happens here. And you can see again, it's showing a lot more. Here we go. We have a green arrow now. Let's see how this turn goes. Fortunately, there are not really lines here. There's a car to my right. I don't know if you could see that. And awesome. I mean, that turn was very, very good. No issues with the car to my right. And there was a median, and it did not even come close to it. It just turned it perfectly. So we're doing the speed limit, as you could see. I typically do. We're about 2 miles away from making a right turn. Personally, as a human driving, I would have gotten into the right lane quite a while ago. So that's just something I would have done and stayed in the right. So I'm going to leave it alone. There's one car behind me. There's another car that shortly is going to pass me on the right, who was on the left and is obviously upset that I am not speeding. So here we go. About right now I am just 1.3 miles away. And again, at this point there is nobody in the right lane. And I wish it would have moved over to the right sooner. And here we go. It is changing lanes, and I got a notification that it's going to change lanes, and that's good. So we're a mile away. There was nobody in the right lane. It was as safe as could be. And here we go. So there's a red light up ahead. And it is slowing down nicely. Yeah, this is a very nice stop. It's comfortable. It didn't have to press down hard. It felt good. So that part of it I do like. And again, you could see the cars up there. You see the lights. A couple times before this video, I did see bicycles. I did see people walking. It showed those very visibly. So far so good. And you can see there's a stack of cars behind me. Our light just turned green. So let's see where we're going here. And in 2 lights, we're going to make a right turn. So we're following through with that car in front of us, and there's cars on my left. Good. So it actually started up nice. It achieved the speed at a nice time. It didn't accelerate too slow, too fast. It wasn't frustrating. So the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a right turn, not at this traffic light, but the one after it up here, and then eventually go to Starbucks. So let's see what happens. We'll see when it puts on the directional signal to make the turn. It's a relatively simple turn.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto Boston Road.
So here we go. Let's see what it does with the directional signal. And we're still doing 47, and we're pretty close. And here's where we should turn, and we are.
Now turn right onto
And the
Boston
car
Road.
slowed down a little rough, just a little bit. And here we go.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Higby Mill Road.
So I should make a right at this traffic light up here.
Now turn right onto Higby Mill.
We're doing the speed limit for a residential area. I do like that. I do follow the speed limit usually. Nice turn. Very, very nice turn. I don't know if it'll take me into the Starbucks parking lot, but so far, and it's doing 23 miles an hour around the turn. It's actually taking me into the drive-through at the wrong place, but that's okay.
Your destination is on the right.
It actually took me, it's taking me to the, interesting, I shut it off. It's actually taking me to the Starbucks drive-through, I'm sorry. So, there we go, we made it, and I thought it was a reasonable drive. I thought it was a very reasonable drive. In a moment, I'll try taking it on another direction. So, let me hold up here. We're going to take a similar drive. I am actually starting in an apartment complex parking lot. Let's see if this will work. Let me put it in drive. I did. And let me tell it, here we go. Let's see what it does. So far so good.
Left onto Boston
So
Road.
far so good. It clearly read everything properly.
Now turn right onto Dillon Place.
Actually, it's taking me the wrong way, and it gave up. So let's try it again. All right, here we go. Here's a trash container on the right, a vehicle. Let's see if it goes around. Yeah, it went a little bit close, but it did go around that vehicle. It's confused as to what to do right here. Again, we're in this complex. It thought about it, and it went to the right. That's where we wanted to go. And we needed to go straight and bear to the left. So let's see what happens here. So far, well, it's absolutely doing the right thing now once it got out of there. It put on the directional signal to make this left turn. It slowed down way in advance of where it had to, but that's okay. And let's see if it stops. And it is stopped. So as you can see, we have a red light. There's a car coming in front. Nobody, so there's nobody now in front of me. It's not a median, so it's just going to turn onto a 2-lane road on the right. Actually, it's a 4-lane road. So, and here we go. It should turn. You can see there's a car straight ahead. I don't know which way he's going to go. He's going to the right. There's nobody behind me, so I'm going to be patient. And here we go, and it's making a turn, and it made a left, as it should. That was very good, by the way. That was impressive. Now we have to make a left up here, where this car in front of me just turned, and here we go. And it tells me it's changing lanes to make this turn. And that was very nice. Very, very nice. So, few issues so far overall, but this drive beginning after we got out of the apartment complex is okay. And we'll get an arrow here and once we get the arrow, we'll make the left. So I'll edit it so you don't have to watch me sitting at a traffic light. I'm much more comfortable today than I was yesterday, which was my first day using it. It seems like if I'm patient, it's okay. You can see I have a car behind me now. 2 cars behind me, actually. And there's a lot of traffic on this road going back and forth, but again, we'll get an arrow here. Here we go. Let's see. Now there is a median, so I'll be making a left turn here, following this car, and there'll be a median on the left. So we're starting out reasonable, speed up. Let's see, we're close to that. No, we're not close to the median. Very good turn. It was a legal turn. We'll eventually have to get in the right lane, and based on what I saw before, I'm going to trust that it will do that at the right time. And we're about 2 miles from having to make a right turn. It's slowing down because of the car in front of me, and it did it nicely. It was comfortable. It wasn't alarming at all. So far, that's one thing I really am impressed with, is how much better it brakes than it used to. A guy behind me obviously does not like people doing the speed limit. So coming to a red light, and then you can see we're going to go a ways, and we're going to go into a residential area shortly. Again, I wish it would get over to the right lane sooner, knowing that we're going to turn up in less than 2 miles, but it just doesn't. But that's okay. It's not doing anything wrong. The turns have been really good, very impressive. The stops, as I said, have been great. It had confusion in the parking lot at the apartment complex, but frankly, that was just an off-map place. So I think that that's reasonable to expect. And I've only had to intervene. I think I've taken 2 trips, and I intervened twice. Once each way, and once was in the apartment complex, so that's not totally fair. Here we go. I like the way it does start out. It doesn't speed way up. It's reasonably getting up to the speed limit. That's nice. Again, it will get frustrating to the people behind me that don't want to do the speed limit, but so be it. Oh. It's trying to get in the right lane, which I'm happy for. I don't know if you saw that. It actually veered to the left. There was a left turn lane coming up, so there was an area with no line in it. And the car veered first to the left, then it put on the right blinker and got to the right. So that's a problem that even occurred in autopilot, and I wish they'd fix that. Because the car was able to see all the lines in front of us. So I'm not sure why it veered to the left. We're doing fine now. The red you can see is the curb here, and on the left you could see the yellow line for the median that's there. Nice smooth drive, it really is. It's great. Coming up to a bit of a backup of not traffic, but at a traffic light, and it's slowing down. Fine. It slowed down fine. So it clearly sees the cars in front of us. It sees the light here. Nice. A lot of times it doesn't see the line on the other side of the road and it stops. Now that could be because I was following another car, but typically it doesn't. So we're going to make a right turn here, and so we're going to go from this main street to more of a residential area, and usually the speed limit would not change, so it would think it was doing 45. Oh, we have some construction here, traffic cones. Let's see what it does. It slowed down to make the turn. Oop, I don't know what it did. I had to intervene. It looked like it was trying to go to the left, so I took it off. And here we go now. I put it back on. keeps putting on a left blinker. I don't quite know why. Going around this car. It slowed down for that car there. Yesterday a car pulled out in front of me, but it wasn't all that close in the car. This car came to a complete stop. Had somebody been behind me, I know it would have been an issue.
In 500 feet, turn right onto...
So here we go. We're going to make a right turn. Again, we're in a residential area. We're going to make a right turn to a road that two things I'd like to see. One is it's got speed humps, and two is I don't think there's any lines. So let's see what it does. It's making the turn. Nice, nice, nice. Good turn. No lines in the street, as you can see. It's kind of over in the middle, but that's okay. And here comes a speed hump right here. And I don't know if you can see it. It slowed down to 20. And this is great news.
Now your destination is on the left.